Okay, pull back just a little.
You like that?
Been here a lot. We love it.
Well, everyone's here for a reason. This statue, the Fearless Girl, means so much to people in New York City. And I'm saying all the people in New York City. I've been profoundly struck by what this statue means in particular to women and to girls in this city and this whole country. But I think there's an even broader symbolism of standing up to fear, standing up to power, being able to find in yourself the strength to do what's right. I think this beautiful statue stands for all of those ideas and those values. So I'm very happy to announce that our City Department of Transportation, our Art Commission at the DOT, took a vote and has agreed to extend the presence of the Fearless Girl here in our city. And she will be here all the way to next International Women's Day here in our city. Before I turn to the borough president, I want to say this. This has been a tough time for so many people these last months. And I've heard this from women from all over New York City and around the country. The frustration they feel, the anger they feel at the way that women have been disrespected and their rights have been disrespected. You saw the most powerful expression of that on January 21st. The largest demonstration in the history of this country, women and their male allies all over this country, hundreds of cities and towns coming out to say that regardless of the results of an election, no one was going to affront women and the rights of women. And right after that, this miraculous girl appears and created such a powerful sensation because she spoke to the moment. That sense that women were not going to live in fear, that women were going to teach their daughters and all the girls in their lives to believe in themselves. You might have seen a Girl Scout troop came up to me just a few moments ago, talking about how important the Fearless Girl was to them. So sometimes a work of art captures the moment in history, and that's what's happened here. This small but powerful statue has really encapsulated the views and the feelings of so many people. This statue has crystallized this moment in history and has given a message of power and personal empowerment to women and girls. One last point before I turn to Gail. There is another moment right around here that reminds me of the power of the statue. Remember when we had the parade for the winners of the Women's World Cup, the soccer team that made this entire country proud? And a lot of people felt at that moment. I watched, I was up on one of the floats with some of the stars of that team, and I saw that men and boys felt just as much pride and respect for the members of that team as the women and girls did. Sometimes a symbol helps us become whole. And I think the Fearless Girl is having that same effect. She is inspiring everyone in a moment where we need inspiration. So I'm happy to say she's going to be with us all the way to next International Women's Day to continue to inspire us. With that, the Borough President of Manhattan, Gail Brewer.
I certainly want to thank the mayor and the Department of Transportation for giving us the Fearless Girl for another year. And in addition to the excitement that was garnered by the soccer women, this entire area was lined with young women in particular who wanted to see the girls who had won the soccer match worldwide. And this girl represents that kind of excitement and that kind of commitment and that kind of long-term support. But there's something else. This girl, young, taking on the bull in terms of symbol, also says to Wall Street, that we need more diversification on some of the boards of the companies. And we know now that according to a congressional report that Carolyn Maloney issued and got published, women hold 16% of board seats for S&P 1,500 companies and just under 20% of board seats at S&P 500 companies. And I say that because it's another example of the power of this girl. And I believe the artist did it as a girl and not a woman because she wanted to show inspiration. She wanted to show young women that it's possible to be on these boards, it's possible to take on the bull, and it's possible to do it in a way that isn't, as the artist said, confrontational, which is the kind of way I might do it, but more that it's inspirational. And apparently she's a composite of two young women who are inspirational to the artist herself. So it's a very special, it's amazing how art, we can issue all the reports we want. They will not have the symbol that a sculpture does. So I want to thank the mayor. He was the one, I pushed, but he was the one that got the wonderful soccer parade. And he's the one that gave us the opportunity to be with the Fearless Girl for another year and to continue this really exciting inspiration that everybody has a different way in which it moves them. And that's why she is so inspirational. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.